So as you saw in the intro, obviously very exciting news for stable coins and crypto in general. Trump's crypto czar David Sachs hints at the new U.S. payment system in the works. As you heard at the very end, every single dollar will be backed by a dollar in the bank as well. Mass adoption is looming for XRP and RLUSD, a financial revolution, maybe closer than we think. Next up, we have this post from Pix, and this one's really interesting right here. We got the Rolex indicator. Now, a lot of people are talking about what indicator is going to tell us when the top is in. Well, he has an interesting take on it. He says, lately, I've been seeing more just bought a new Rolex post. Not as many as there were near the last peak, but definitely more than 6 months ago. Last time this happened, it was already late in the cycle, but this time the volume is still very low compared to the peak. He goes on, I've been digging into the data for a longer piece coming out next week. Rough estimate, we're 2/3 in. So he thinks that 1/3 of the bull run is remaining. The top is still ahead of us. Now take a look at this though. This is his chart tracking from February of 2025. Price of Rolex watches have been continuing to climb as far as price goes. Remember, supply and demand. More people are wanting to buy Rolexes, so prices start to go up. So we're looking back in February, you could have gotten a Rolex for just over $20,000, $300 for certain Rolexes, obviously. And now they're trading at $20,700. So personally, I don't use this as an indicator for me to determine when the top is in, but I do like the post. Also, breaking $5 trillion, JPMorgan says tokenized bank deposits could beat stablecoins in global settlement. Unlike stablecoins, which are often pegged to dollars and move freely on blockchains, JP Morgan's deposits are tied to traditional banking, offering things like deposit insurance and interest. Now, they're testing JPMD on Coinbase's Base blockchain, and regulators globally are backing this because it's safe and less volatile than stablecoins. Stablecoins like Tether are huge with a $263 billion market cap, but JP Morgan thinks their tokenized deposits could take over for the big institutional transactions. And the reason this is important is it's a game changer because it shows Wall Street giants are jumping into crypto, but in their own way. If tokenized deposits catch on, they can make cross-border payments faster and cheaper for businesses, potentially shaking up the stablecoin market. For us as investors, it's a sign that crypto is going mainstream, but it also means more competition, knowing which projects to back that could make the difference between a win and a miss. Also breaking today, Ripple has officially launched new XRP payment corridors in Brazil, Nigeria, and Indonesia. And coming out this upcoming week, White House releases its first crypto policy report this week on July 22nd as required by that executive order 14178. And one question I've always wanted to know for all of you guys watching out there right now, what is the one altcoin you'd risk it all for? What's the one that you're betting everything on? Now, is it XRP? Is it SUI? Is it Solana? Pepe? Let me know down in the comment section, what is that one coin that you think is the best? Now, when it comes to XRP, we're now waiting for phase 8 to come into play. We got RLUSD's release. That's been happened. Number 2, Trump's inauguration. That happened. Gary officially leaves. Done. XRP strategic reserve. That's been called. Ripple case ends. We have that as a check mark. Alt season. Well, it's finally starting to tick off. Ripple name big bank partnership. How about just becoming a bank as well? And then XRP ETF approval. Let's see when that happens. Is it tomorrow that we start to get potential BlackRock ETF coming into play? Now, we also have Saylor signaling he's buying more, over $71 billion. As of right now, the company is up about $66.5 billion on its Bitcoin investment, accounting for over $28.5 billion in unrealized gains, according to the Saylor tracker. Due to the fact that they're buying Bitcoin, the company's stock continues to surge about 21% in the last month, bringing Strategy's total valuation over $118 billion. Strategy's stock rally came amid a rise in the crypto market, with the total crypto market cap crossing $4 trillion in July and Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high. Vanguard, one of the biggest institutional investment firms, has long opposed holding Bitcoin or offering Bitcoin directly to clients, but now holds 20 million shares of Strategy, or about 8% of the company's outstanding stock. The investment firm Indirect Exposure to Bitcoin through a publicly traded company highlights Bitcoin's integration into traditional finance through legacy investment vehicles. All right, so now we've got the new daily candle officially kicked off. We have 22 hours left in the new daily candle. Price did come down, tap right off that $3.40 range, and is starting to make a tick to the upside. So right now, the new candle that has just officially started is considered Monday's candle. We had Sunday's candle, which was yesterday, was quite the whipsaw, rising all the way up to $3.55 and all the way down to $3.38. Saturday's candle, also crazy candle to the up and downside, coming down to that supply and demand zone at $3.35 and rising all the way up to $3.48. A big 10-cent move on both of these candles. But now we are pushing to the upside. We can see we're sitting at $3.47 on XRP. Let's take a look at a smaller time frame and let's look at some supply and demand issues. So we're going to go to the 1 hour charts here. We're going to go ahead and switch to the Heikin-Ashi candles. That'll give us a better, clearer vision of what's going on. So as of right now, we did have our surge to the upside, giving us that new all-time high, that $3.60 plus cents. So we're going to go ahead. The last green candle before the down move, we're going to use that one and the all-time high. So this is going to be our resistance zone to the upside for XRP. That gives us a $3.58 to $3.66 range. That will be a resistance. Once we break above this level, ladies and gentlemen, we will get back into price discovery, which is going to be very exciting. Now, when it comes to levels of support, my favorite way of looking at support when we've had this massive move to the upside is the 1100 exponential moving average. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to a smaller time frame. We'll take a look at the 15-minute time frame. As we can see right here, it's coming in at $3.04. Not going to use that one. Let's go to 10-minute. 10 minutes getting us to the $3.20 range. Not going to use that. I'm not seeing us drop that significantly. Let's use the 5-minute one. Here we go. So this would be very close. We have not gotten all the way to it and or tapped it yet. So this is a good one to look at. So we're going to go ahead and use this as a potential support level here. And we're going to do our horizontal line. We'll put this right on this level. We're going to change this color though, so it stands out different than our bodied candle line. This $3.40 is a bodied candle level of support, but this right here, we'll change the settings and we'll do 1100. So this is the 5-minute 1100 EMA. All right. So we're going to save that right there as our support level. Then we'll go to the 4-minute level and see where we come in. Well, take a look at that. So the 4-minute level is where we have been bouncing off of as support these last two massive moves to the downside for XRP. Let's take a look at something else here. Let's go back to Bitcoin in the charts, looking at this. Well, as we can see, Bitcoin actually lost its 4-minute 1100 exponential moving average.